Welcome to Northern Stamper, and today is Takeaway Tuesday. I'm so excited. It's one of my favorite days of the week. I don't know about you. Let me know if you enjoy Takeaway Tuesday. Today we are working with a Delicate Desert. I just love this stamp set. I don't know if I've told you, but I found out that this stamp set, I've been able to make a ton of cards, even though it only's got a few little stamps in it. As I said, it's one of my favorite. My name is Tina Kavrigich. Thank you for joining me. And I am located in a small town called Ajax, just east of Toronto. So if you're anywhere in Canada and you would like to order Delicate Desert, let me know. Or if there's any items in the mini catalog you would like, let me know. Or the annual catalog. Oh, they got tons of stuff. The annual catalog is filled with amazing tools, and I'm going to talk a little bit today about some of my favorite tools that I have. So what I have today, one thing I want to let you know, these catalogs are ending in April. So what's going to happen is anything that's in here will be going away, sadly. So if there's anything in here that you like, you might want to grab it, and it is while supplies last, so items will be going pretty quickly, and especially if there's paper or ribbons and stuff like that that you like, it will be leaving. So and they do sell out very quickly. Also, they have announced a new, they're going to be taking out some of the inks from the annual catalog and replacing them with some new beautiful colors. Say if you have the annual catalog, you want to flip to page 122 and 123 and look at some of the colors that they have. So they have them kind of broken up, so when you look at their, you'll see like a group. What they're going to do is they're going to take about 6 or 7, I don't know how many colors, so maybe a 2 out of this one and 2 out of this one, 3 out of that one, and they're going to replace them with some new colors. Now if you have colors in here that you like, you want to grab them, especially if there's the ink, the refills, the colored cardstock. You're going to want to know that, and they're going to be announcing what colors are going to be leaving on March the 29th or 30th, so I can let you know, and you can fill up on those before they're gone. So the reason that I tell you that is because make a list. We're going to play a little game later, maybe this month, on what will be leaving. And you're going to want to make a list of your favorite colors, or at least kind of make a little star, so that you know which ones, if they are going, what to refill with or to grab right away. And I'm going to tell you, when they announce something like that, when the colors are going away or the stamp set or the catalogs are leaving, things fly off the shelf like absolute crazy. So make your list. If you have any questions, you can drop me an email, northernstamper@gmail.com. I am there to help you, and I think I'm losing my hat here. Oh yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day, even though it's later this week, and today is Happy Pie Day. Oh, it is the day to eat pies. So happy Pie Day. Happy Thanksgiving. Oh my goodness, combine them together. Drink some green beer and have some green pie. Oh my goodness, what a great deal. Anyways, as I was saying about the catalogs, drop me an email if you have any questions, because there are strategies, there are ways to get the most for your money, and I'm here to help you. So you can order with me. It doesn't matter where you are in Canada, and I can help you out. So anyways, enough about that. You're here to see and learn about a new card, which I have, Delicate Deserts. Love this set. I can't even remember why I picked it up, but I'm telling you, I do not regret it at all. It's going to actually end up staying probably in my favorite stamp sets that I have, and they have some back there that back there are all my favorite stamp sets that I will never get rid of. So it's going to go in that. What I was doing when I first started, so I'm going to show you this. Check that out. Oop. So these are with those daubers that we used last week. And I made some kind of different ones with different colors. So there's pale papaya and a little darker color with the daubers. So I did the centers a little darker. I tried to do some, different types. What I'm going to do is I will cut these out. I love them. They're fantastic. Um, I'm really glad I got this stamp set. So let's put that away. And let us get ready with our new card that we're going to make. So what you're going to need, if you have the package, you are going to need, now there's a piece of cardstock, and it is cut a little bit on the front, so you're going to need that. You want that a little bit cut on the front. There's a piece of designer series paper. I don't know what side you want to use. Yours may look a little different than mine, but it should match the cardstock that we placed together. Or if not, you can always cut a new one from something different. And that's going to kind of go on the front. You want to find that it fits on the front, and a piece of basic white. We're going to be doing stamping on this. And there are two pieces, a piece of 3x3 basic white, and oops, that one's a little folded, but a piece of another piece of cardstock that we're going to use. So you're going to want to look at your ink pads and see what colors are in the side that you want to use. You want something that's going to stand out a little bit, so try and choose a little darker color. The ink cardstock that we're using is like a rich raspberry, so there's that. I picked up a couple of greens just in case, and I picked up Blushing Bride because I thought it would match in with what I'm making. So I have no clue, so kind of by the seat of my pants. Are you ready? Give me a thumbs up if you are ready, and we'll get you up onto the camera mount. As promised, I also will be talking a little bit about some of my absolutely favorite tools that I cannot live without, okay? So I'm not like some video people that can like switch from laptop to thing, but so I'm a little low tech, but it still works. So if you get a little queasy, now's the time to kind of look away while I put you up on the camera mount. I do apologize for that. I am low tech, I am low key, I am low budget, so but all my money goes into all of my stamps and stuff like that. So because that's where I love to have it. All right. So thumbs up. Let's go for a little ride, and hopefully I don't lose you. So anyways, take a look. Oh, there's my cards and stuff like that. Okay, 1, 2. We're gonna go now. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Oh, a little painful. Hopefully it's okay. All right. So oh, look at the mess I've made already. Haven't even started. As I said, my name is Tina Kavergich. Don't worry about that. You know what? You don't need to remember the name, but just remember Northern Stamper. You can always find me at that. Drop me an email, northernstamper@gmail.com. So I picked up a couple of ribbons or threads that I'm going to be using, and a little bit of bling. So as I said, Delicate Desert, we are going to get started. All right, so what we're going to start with, let's get started with the piece of basic white. So this is a piece of just basic white. So when I look at the card base, it's actually going to go on the inside. Now, one tip is you do not want to glue this in first and then stamp, because if you do, it may get wavy and it won't be straight. So we are going to stamp on this first right away. So let's move that up. There we go. And what I'm going to do is, you'll notice they've got these little strips on that side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp on this side here, on the right side, with this little kind of motif. And I'm going to choose one of those, and I'm going to put them on the block. All right. So blocks are one of my favorite tools. Now, I'm using this one because I'm just need it to go the span of the card, so it's going to hang off a little bit. But blocks are one of the things that are one of the best tools to have, and I love Stampin' Up! Because they have these little edges here. definitely, if you are getting started, you want to get some blocks. Let's move this out of the way a little bit. Oh, I see why I put it there. So you want to get some blocks. They have a couple of different ones that you want to use, and you would want to add that to your um, to your supplies. So let's go with garden green. I'm looking at some of the DSP that I have here, and I want to pull in some of the green. So I'm just going to do that with the garden green. I wasn't really sure as I started, but that's what I'm going to use. Okay, so I'm going to flip it open and place it down. And I'm just going to pat. Now, this is the secret. Remember, pat and turn. Okay, so you're going to pat your stamp on the ink pad. Okay, so you're going to pick up that ink. All right. And what we're going to do is we're just going to do on the right side there. Oops, let's get on a little bit further. Okay. All right, and I'm going to just go along the edge. And yes, it's going to go up a little bit higher, but that's okay. Look at that color. I got to tell you, that color turned out really nice. That design is fantastic. Oops, can you see it? There we go. A very nice color, and I think I'm going to use this for a couple of other things. So I'm going to keep this close by and do a little bit more. What I want to do is I'm going to decorate a little bit of the inside of the card. So let's get one of the little flowers and again place that on a block. So one thing is, if you have your paper and you don't know where to place it and you want to lay it down, just lay it down and then place the block on top to pick it up. So let's go back here. I'm going to look at some of these colors. I'm using Rich Raspberry as the card base, so let's pick that up. Again, I'm going to pat and turn, and I'm kind of going around the whole stamp set, the whole stamp pad to pick up the ink. Okay, and I'm just going to stamp this in the corner there, straight up and down. So straight up and down is the big trick. So a really nice color. Love how that little flower turns out. And I'm going to put a little sentiment in the center here. And what are we going to say? You feel like what sunshine feels like. Again, oops, I'm going to put it off to the side because when I have it in here, in my card base, it's going to be a little bit hidden. So there we go. I want it right about there. Pick it up on my block. There we go. Ink it up. I'm going to use the Rich Raspberry again. Pat and turn. And take a look. I got enough ink on there. Straight up and down. Now don't rock it back and forth, okay? That is for dancing, not for stamping. That's the big trick. So I have that in there. Looking great. I love the color combination. The Rich Raspberry and the Garden Green is looking fantastic. And I'm afraid that Garden Green may be one of the colors going out. I don't know. Could be, possibly. There we go. We have it here. Now I'm gonna glue it in because I don't know about you, but I have a horrible time losing things on my craft table. So Stamp & Seal, I'm gonna put a little bit in. Now, I use the Stamp & Seal Plus because I find that I don't need so much, and it holds really strongly to the pieces. Okay, there we go. Look at that. It's in. Now, you may think, well, you know, it's not completely covered, but let's take a look. Okay, so I got my piece of DSP, and that is really nice. Now, I had two different pieces. I'm going to use this one. And I'm just going to place it in the center on the front. Okay, again with my Steel Plus. Oh, look, the other side's really pretty too, but I think I'm going to just use that other side to bring out the flowers and the color. Use a little bit of glue, and I'm going to pop that on top there. And I'm just going to make it center. I always love the frames around the cardstock and stuff. And see, you can still see the little bit of green on the side. I got a piece of green on the side here that I'm going to put on. And you can see as it's building together how the card is coming together. Okay, so there we go. So when I open it, this little piece will be covering that sentiment. Looking great, but I want to add some images to this piece of basic white. And what I found is I'm going to be using this large desert flower, and you can do with the dauber if you like. I'm just taking a look to see if I have an extra dauber around, and I do not, so I guess I'm going to have to go with the single color. So I'm going to place it on top. Oh, let's flip it over. Oh my goodness, love that flower. And I'm going to look for a block that is large enough to hold that. I want a block that is not too small, right? So something like this where it would hang over and then it won't stamp properly. And I don't want a block that's huge because then it becomes very hard to manipulate. So I'm just taking a second look around to see if I have a dauber, and I don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up a flower, and because I was doing rich raspberry with the other ones, I'm going to pick up a rich raspberry in this color of flower also. Okay, rich raspberry. If you want to test it out, go right ahead, ink it up, and test it on something. So let's go. Let's test it on this. Looking a little bit dry on my ink pad, so I'm going to go around. Okay. And actually, I really want to add an extra color into that. Now, I don't have a dauber. Ooh, but I do have Wink of Stella. I do have other stuff that I can use. Okay, gonna ink that up. Here we go. We're working on the fly here. Want to make sure I got that in. Actually, I think I got a lot of ink on there. I'm taking in a different ink color, and this is Blushing Bride. I am going to grab, I'm going to grab this. This is a water painter, actually. I just want to pick up some of the ink onto that. Now, I could do this with a dabber, but I'm just going to pick it up and kind of go a little bit like that around. Pat it on. Pat it on. Let's see what happens. And if I don't like it, guess what? There are two pieces to this piece of paper, and I can flip it over. Okay, let's see. Cross our fingers and see how that turns out. Hey, that's kind of cool. That is actually really cool. That's kind of interesting. But what I did with the painter was it ended up kind of making a design in the center. Now I'm going to see if I like that or not, because there are two pieces to a piece of paper. Let's ink it up again. And I'm going to go with just the single color. And we're going to try again. And we are going to choose which side we like the best. Oh, you know what? I think I like that side the better. Oh, that really looks fantastic. That one's interesting. But I think I like the full strength by itself. Aha, yes, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to add a little sentiment in the corner here. And let's do Let the Fun Begin. Excuse me. That's one thing with paper. There are always two sides to paper. If you don't like one side, flip it over. I try not to get too stressed out about it because, you know what? It's a handmade card and it should be, you know, not perfect. That's okay. Again, I'm going to be using the Garden Green to pick up, because remember we made that strip. I'm going to ink it up. Test it. Okay. Ink it up. Let's go straight up and down. Let's see if I can get it straight. Yep. Here we go. There we go. We did it. Woohoo! Let's have a party. Okay, I got my sentiment in here. One of the tricks, make sure you always close your ink pad so you don't put your fingers in it. I don't know about you, but somehow I could have it on the other side of the room and I still get ink on me. Okay, so I have that nicely inked up. It does dry fairly quickly, and actually, let's add some Wink of Stella to that little flower. Now, one of the tricks with the Wink of Stella is to pat and try not to um, uh, like a paintbrush, because the ink will run a little bit. So if you're going to do that, kind of be very careful and just kind of go a little bit and color it in. Okay, I'm just going to go around a little bit and we're going to add that. So the ink with the Wink of Stella, because it activates the ink, it will make it run a little bit. So either pat, or if you're going to do like painting, just take your time and do the painting along. Okay, so just take your time, and I'm going to do a little bit. I'm just following the little flowers where I think it's going to be a little dark, and because it's running the ink, I am just kind of painting right along the edge a little bit to kind of give it a little bit of definition there. Okay, Wink of Stella, always got to have that in your stash. It does really add quite a bit. Okay, so I'm going to keep going around. And, oh, actually, that turned out really nicely with the Wink of Stella. That really makes it pop a lot. I don't know if you can see. It really adds a little bit. Oh, you can't quite see the shimmer, but it really accents the flower petals. Okay, so there we go. We got it back in. We are going to add this to our cardstock. I'm going to do a piece of the Stampin' Seal Plus and place that kind of right in the middle. Okay, so I got that laid down in the middle. Okay, now when you're going to add this to the card front, you want to just do a little bit on this one side. Don't do the whole part, okay? Because what's going to happen is then you'll glue your card down. And because this is bent a little bit, let's just add a couple of little glue dots to convince it to stay down. It's just because my piece of cardstock is curled a little bit, I'm going to add some glue dots, and just to convince it to stay down. Okay, the little glue dots on each corner, just because my cardstock is curling. Yours may not, should not, because I kept the curling one just for me. There we go. Come on, hide under these. There we go. It's coming together. Now we're going to glue the back of the card. Remember, only one side, okay? Only the one side going on the front. So I'm gonna take a look. All right, so I can see I can add the glue to at least half of it. Okay, gonna lay that on top. Okay, there we go. There we go. I'm gonna add that. You can see the green from the inside of the card. It hides the little parts there. And I have some twine here. And I just picked up the green. And this is also garden green. I'm going to make a little bow and stick that on the front. And I will secure it down with a glue dot on the front. So I'll make my rabbit ears and pull on the tails. There we go. Add a little bit like that. And snip, snip. There we go. And I'm going to add it right in here, kind of like a little leaf. Okay. Put a little glue dot down to hold that piece of twine. Okay. There we go. Going to put that on there. Press it down. Here we go. Looking nice, and why not? You know what we're missing? We're missing a little bit of bling. So I'm just going to grab from my pile of bling and see what I got in here. Oh, I got pearls. Oh, look at this. This is, the little half moons here. Let's try these little half moons. These are actually the the embellishments that come with Delicate Desert Sweet. And I'm going to add a little bit of that. Oops. Around. I'm going to add some on the inside. Oops. Who says you have to have bling only on the outside of a card? You can place it wherever you like. Okay, and I'm going to add a little bit more. Should I do one down here? There we go. Add it up. And I'm going to turn it. There we go. I think this one needs another piece. There we go. There we go with the card. You know what? A very, very simple design, but it looks really nice. There we go. Okay, on the inside. Oh, and don't forget, I always forget. Let's decorate our envelope, okay? So I'm going to decorate my envelope. I'm going to open it up, and I'm actually going to use that strip that we had in the card from the side. This I'm going to add into my envelope. I always forget about decorating the envelope. I get so excited with the card itself that I forget to decorate the envelope. So, because that piece is a little longer, I'm going to add it to a longer block. Okay, there we go. Got that on there. I'm going to take my ink pad, because this is a long block. I'm going to ink it on the block instead of the other way around. Okay. And I'm going to place it right there. Oh, no, I'm going to place it up here. Straight up and down. That looks great. Let's get a little flower. And where did my rich raspberry go? Okay. When you put your card and the envelope together, it kind of reminds you of what stamps that you used. There we go. Stamp that on the outside. Okay. And there we go. We can place that inside our envelope just like this. And it is ready to go. Ready for mailing. Okay. What did you think about that? Pretty simple, pretty simple. The decorations, what name or the number on the catalog? Great question, Lori. Great question. These little half moons actually are in the mini catalog. Take a look in the mini catalog. And it is with the Delicate Desert on page 42. So I'm going to go to page 42. So when you look at Delicate Desert, so here's the suite. There are the little embellishments here. And so that is number 2, gold faceted adhesive back sequins. And you get 80 pieces on the sheet, and they're $11. Okay? So there you go. They're right there. And if I will write the number above of what the code number is. So they have some that are like a little pear shape, some that are round, like little, what are those, sequins, and then the little half moons. Okay, so great question. That is part of the Delicate Desert suite. Love this suite. That's what we're using all this month. So great question. Thanks for asking. Don't go away. I want to say a proper goodbye. So hold on a second. Ready? Okay. Take a look at the card. There's the card. And whoop, there we go. Thank you very much for joining me for Takeaway Tuesday. If you have any questions, please drop me an email, northernstamper@gmail.com. I am happy to help you if you have any questions. Until next Tuesday, don't forget, please post your card either above or in the community page, or you send it to me on email. Doesn't matter. Let's see how your card turned out compared to mine. Anyways, have a lovely, lovely day, and I will see you next time. Oh, don't forget to watch for postings of cards that I've created. Did you see yesterday's card? Loved it. So Delicate Desert is all this month. Okay? I will see you next time. Take care.